The Syrian civil war, a conflict that has ravaged the nation for over a decade, has taken a dramatic turn. Rebel forces spearheaded by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham or HTS have seized control of the capital city Damascus. This marks a significant defeat for President Bashar al-Assad's regime, effectively ending his decades-long grip on power. Celebrations erupted in the streets as citizens rejoiced at the downfall of the authoritarian leader. The final assault on Damascus was swift and decisive. Rebel fighters, emboldened by a string of victories in recent months, overwhelmed the demoralized Syrian army. Key government buildings and strategic locations fell into rebel hands, effectively crippling the regime's ability to resist. Videos circulating on social media depict jubilant crowds tearing down posters of Assad and his father, Hafez al-Assad. The whereabouts of Bashar al-Assad remain unknown. Unconfirmed reports suggest that he may have fled to Russia, a longtime ally of the regime. Russian state media outlets have reported that Assad requested asylum in Moscow, but these claims have not been independently verified. The United States, while closely monitoring the situation, has stated that it cannot confirm Assad's location. The fall of Damascus marks a turning point in the Syrian civil war. However, it is important to note that the conflict is far from over. The road ahead will be fraught with challenges as Syria grapples with the legacy of Assad's rule and the daunting task of rebuilding a shattered nation. With the Assad regime ousted, a significant power vacuum now exists in Syria. The rebel coalition that captured Damascus is a diverse group with varying ideologies and objectives. This presents a significant challenge in establishing a stable and unified government. HTS, the dominant force within the rebel coalition, has declared its intention to establish an Islamic emirate in Syria. This has raised concerns among some international observers who fear that HTS's hardline ideology could further destabilize the region. However, other rebel groups, as well as civilian opposition figures, have expressed their commitment to a democratic transition. The international community faces a difficult decision regarding the recognition of a new Syrian government. Supporting a government led by HTS could alienate moderate Syrians and potentially embolden extremist groups in the region. On the other hand, failing to engage with the new authorities could hinder efforts to stabilize the country and provide humanitarian assistance to those in need. The power vacuum also raises concerns about the potential resurgence of ISIS. While the group has been territorially defeated, it maintains a clandestine presence in parts of Syria. The chaotic situation could provide an opportunity for ISIS to regroup and launch new attacks. The international community has reacted cautiously to the fall of the Assad regime. The United States, while welcoming the end of Assad's rule, has expressed concerns about the potential for further instability. President Biden has pledged continued U.S. support for the Syrian people and the establishment of a democratic government. Russia, a staunch ally of the Assad regime, has called for a peaceful transition of power. However, Moscow has also expressed reservations about the composition of the rebel coalition that now controls Damascus. Russia maintains a significant military presence in Syria and has indicated its intention to protect its interests in the country. Iran, another key player in the Syrian conflict, has called for a political solution that respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Syria. Tehran has provided significant support to the Assad regime over the years and is likely concerned about the potential for a new government that is hostile to its interests. The fall of the Assad regime has also reignited tensions between Israel and Syria. Israel has seized control of the Golan Heights, citing the collapse of the 1974 disengagement agreement. This move has been met with condemnation from Syria and its allies, raising fears of a wider regional conflict. The fall of the Assad regime marks the beginning of a new chapter in Syria's tumultuous history. The road ahead will be long and arduous with numerous challenges to overcome. Establishing a stable and inclusive government, rebuilding a devastated economy, and healing the wounds of a decade-long civil war are just a few of the daunting tasks that lie ahead. The international community has a responsibility to assist the Syrian people in their quest for peace and stability. Providing humanitarian assistance, supporting the formation of a representative government, and promoting reconciliation among Syria's diverse communities are essential steps in this process. The fate of Austin Tice, an American journalist who disappeared in Syria in 2012, remains a pressing concern. The Syrian opposition has pledged to investigate his disappearance, but it is unclear what progress, if any, has been made. The United States has repeatedly called for Tice's release, and has vowed to hold those responsible for his disappearance accountable. The situation in Syria remains fluid and unpredictable. The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the country's future trajectory. The international community must remain engaged and committed to supporting the Syrian people as they navigate this critical